remember 6 months later, everyone was so surprised that this girl that was my crush, by the way, ends up bringing in a baby. And this baby kind of looked like me. And that was the scariest thing ever until I realized that my crush lied to me the entire time about not being pregnant. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba, and welcome back to another embarrassing but crazy story. Now, today's story all takes place back when I was in high school, and this was during my grade 12 year. Now, in grade 12, I was really stressed out about, like, tests and finals, and, a lot of things were getting to me. But one thing I will say was that back when I was in my grade 12 year, I had a crush on this one girl that I could easily say was my high school crush. In a way, don't get me wrong, I did a lot of different girls during high school, and I did a lot of the Devil's Tango. But this one girl that I'm about to talk about was the one girl that I always dreamed of getting with. And you guys are probably wondering, wait, why didn't you get with her? And I can explain. You see, the girl that I had a major crush on throughout high school was never single. For some reason, this girl would never stay single. After like 2 days of being single, she'd probably start talking to another person. And it got so annoying. And I remember it got to the point where I actually just ended up giving up by my grade 11 year because there was no way I was able to shoot my shot until one day. I remember I was walking down the hallway, and as I was walking down it, I ended up seeing a huge argument lash out between my high school crush and her new boyfriend. And this boyfriend she was arguing with was one of her boyfriends that she was always on and off with. I think we all know that one girl that gets on and off a relationship so often with a single person throughout the school years that it just gets super annoying, and the relationship is just purely toxic. And that's what my crush had with this guy. But I remember they were arguing in the hallway, and we started hearing things like, oh, like, you don't understand, like, you need to be there for me at times like this. I don't want to. What? None of my business. I don't know what to do. I'm only 18. And it got to the point where things got really in depth, and the principal actually had to come and break it up. For the rest of the school day, they weren't allowed to talk to each other. But I remember after school finally came around, and when I went to my locker, I ended up seeing her sitting down across from me in tears. That's when I decided to walk up to her and say, hey, is everything all right? Oh, hey, Bubba. No, I just have a lot on my mind. Okay, well, I mean, do you want to talk about it? No, not really. Just a lot of pressures come to me, that's all. At that moment, I was really confused on what she was talking about, but honestly, I ended up just sitting beside her anyway and just decided to hear her out. Because even though she was one of those girls that basically would never be single and I gave up on, to be honest, I still had a place for her in my mind or heart, or I don't really know, maybe more my eggplant area if I'm being honest, but that's not the point. Going on, this girl ends up telling me about life, and she ends up telling me how, like, all guys are immature and basically the basic stuff that most girls complain about, especially when you're in high school. And me, I just end up saying the same thing over and over, and that's, oh yeah, no, I understand. Oh, I completely understand. Us guys suck. Yeah, we're really terrible. And it's funny because the girl always responds the same way, saying, see, like, you understand. You're not like other guys. Even though I was basically like every other guy back when I was in high school, but still, I knew what I was doing. Anyways, I remember from there, I ended up actually getting my crush's number, and she decided to hang out with me after school that day. But she told me to be hella low-key about it. So I remember when after school came around, we ended up going inside my car secretly, and we decided to drive out of there a bit early before the bell rang for school to end. But I remember as we were in my car, this girl got easily nauseous. For some reason, she sat in it, and she just started to get car sick. I didn't know why, but that's when she randomly told me, Bubba, I need you to pull over real quick. Okay. And I pulled over, and she just started puking her guts out. No joke, she got so, like, nauseous, and it was funny because we were in the car for like less than 2 minutes. But honestly, I didn't question too much of it. I thought it was just normal car sickness, and I decided to move on from it. I remember me and this girl, from that day, we ended up hanging out more and more, but I started to realize signs that this girl was giving me that kind of made me worried. Like, for example, one time we decided to go on a dinner date, and it was a dinner date, but in reality, in her mind, it wasn't. So I don't really know what we were going to call it, but we're going to call it a dinner date. And basically, me and her, we ended up eating together. And I remember as we were eating, one thing I started to realize was that this girl was eating more than usual. I know it sounds really mean, but you gotta understand, this girl, like, she was a cheerleader in our high school. So she always had to, like, keep a certain physique. And this girl would eat way more than the average woman would. And that's when I started to worry, and I'm like, yo, like, is everything all right? Oh, yeah, it's just stress eating, that's all. Okay, if you say so. I don't know, it's really weird seeing someone eat more than me because I eat a lot of food. Even though I'm, pretty fit, me, I eat a decent amount. But this girl was eating more than me, so seeing that was just kind of rare. But from there, after a dinner date, we ended up going back to her place. And as I'm about to drop her off, she tells me, oh, like, Bubba, do you want to, like, come inside? My parents aren't home. And at that moment, I knew this was my chance to do my crush. Finally, after 4 years of having this girl as my high school crush, to go do the Devil's Tango with her. So I end up parking my car in her driveway, and I go inside with her. And me and her, obviously, we do end up doing the Devil's Tango. And even though she had a little bit more weight on her, still, it was really enjoyable. And I actually felt really happy to do it. But this is where everything goes wrong, okay? Like, this is where, like, I basically start freaking out. Because I remember 2 months go by. And one thing I can definitely say was that this girl definitely gained a lot more weight. And she definitely started arguing with her ex-boyfriend a lot more and more. To the point where I decided to, like, kind of lean out of the picture and basically kind of just end things off with her. Because I didn't want to get into an argument with her boyfriend, and I didn't want to just be a part of that crazy situation. But I remember when I entered school, like, 2 months later, I ended up hearing a bunch of rumors, and actually one of my buddy comes up to me and say, yo, bro, remember that girl that you had a crush on, like, a while back? Yeah, what about her? Well, apparently, like, people are saying she's pregnant. Wait, what? She's pregnant? Yeah, like, apparently, like, she's having, like, a kid, and, like, she's denying it, but, like, I don't know, people think she's pregnant. At that moment, I started to freak out, because I don't know when the pregnancy started, and I don't know when this whole thing was happening. So I remember after months of not texting this girl back, I ended up texting her saying, hey, are you okay? And she texted me back instantly saying, yeah, what do you want? Nothing, I'm just checking in. Like, is everything good? Yeah, I'm fine, Baba. And I can tell that she definitely did not want to talk to me since I ghosted her after, you know, we ended up doing the Devil's Tango. So I decided to kind of like lean away and basically just pretend everything was all right. But then more and more people in my school started to talk about how this girl was pregnant. And it got to the point where I remember after school, I ended up seeing her as I was going inside my car, and I decided to close my car door, run to her and say, hey, like, can I talk to you for a second? Yeah, sure. What is it, Baba? Well, like, I just need to know, like, I heard like a rumor and I think you know about it, like, you're pregnant. I just want to know, like, are you? No, Baba, I'm just gaining weight from stress eating. I'm not pregnant. Okay. If you say so, I'm just, you know, I'm just asking because I heard a rumor and that's all. Baba, you're such a jerk. And she ends up running away. Now, at that moment, I actually felt really bad because I basically just called this girl fat. But honestly, still, I needed to know, okay? Because I was a person that also did the Devil's Tango with her, and I didn't know when she got pregnant, like I said earlier. From there, I remember months go by, and I want to say 6 months end up actually passing. And when 6 months go by, I remember I ended up entering school one day, and I started to realize that my high school crush never ended up showing up. She missed like almost like 2 months of classes, and I thought that she maybe died, or worse, but still, like, I thought maybe she moved out of the country. I don't really know. And the whole rumor about her being pregnant ended up also dying out until one day she ends up actually entering inside our classroom after months of no one seeing her. And that's when she ends up walking in with a stroller. She walks in with a stroller and pulls out a baby that actually kind of looks like me. But that's when I ended up looking at her, and I looked at the baby and I looked at myself on my phone mirror, and I start freaking out, and I'm like, bro, is that my kid? Did she lie about being pregnant with my child? So I remember as class was going by, I could not stop thinking about this, and that's when after school, when the bell finally rang, I ended up walking up to her. I walked up to the baby and said, yo, listen, I need to ask you a question, and like, you gotta be brutally honest with me. No, Baba, it's not your child. Don't worry. It's not? No, it's not yours, okay? You don't have to worry about anything. Oh, okay, because like, you know, I was pregnant the time we did the Devil's Tango. Oh, so like, you knew the whole time? Yeah, but like, I don't know, like, I didn't know what to do at that time, and like, I was stress eating a lot, but like, you know, it's whatever. And that's when she gets up with her baby, puts her in the stroller, and rolls away. And at that moment, I was so relieved that wasn't my child, but at the same time, that kid still kind of looked like me. I don't know, if you guys don't believe the story is real at all, then fall for more embarrassing stories just like this one. Peace out, guys.